Car insurance is climbing for millions of Americans. What's behind the surge and what you can do to save. And a soldier surprise you won't want to miss. Just wait until you see the emotional reunion between a father and son who hadn't seen each other in a year. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. More on those stories coming up in a moment. But first, the search for a woman missing in the San Bernardino County mountains. Christy Rockwood hasn't been seen since Tropical Storm Hillary triggered mudslides in her community of Seven Oaks. We talked to her son.
I haven't given up hope of them finding her, but the only thing that hurts me is to think of her being, stuck in the mud somewhere or trapped somewhere cold, suffering.
The fire department will continue to search for her. More than a dozen people in the same area were rescued Tuesday. They were trapped in their neighborhood after a massive mudslide.
There was mobile homes going down the river. The water was up, like I said. I was on my porch and it was 20 feet away and it was making a lot of noise.
Among the rescued, Stephanie Noyes, seen here reuniting with her daughter. Stephanie says she was stranded in her home by a wall of mud and debris. Patients are back at White Memorial in Boyle Heights after a double power failure led to the hospital's evacuation. But there are a lot of questions about what exactly went wrong. The Department of Water and Power says the problem was not on their end. They claim the outage was because of a failure of the hospital's electrical equipment. 241 patients were inside when it went dark Monday night. And while everyone worked to get patients out, doctors and nurses were forced to deliver a baby in the dark. The baby girl and mother are doing just fine, as are the rest of the hospital's patients, according to a hospital spokesperson. For the first time since the Hollywood writers' strike began in May, the Writers Guild of America is having negotiation talks with TV and film studios. The WGA's negotiating committee says it accepted the studio's invitation to meet with executives Tuesday night, including Disney's Bob Iger and Netflix's Ted Sarandos. Well, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers has also made its first counteroffer to the Writers Union. The studios say they are offering the largest pay bump for the WGA in 35 years. Under the proposal, writers would see a compounded 13% increase in wages. Also, the budget for streaming residuals would reach the highest level, in addition to protection against AI when it comes to written material. But the Writers Union says the counteroffer has, quote, limitations, loopholes, and omissions. Comcast, the corporation that owns our parent company, NBC Universal, is represented by the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. Some employees of the NBC News Group are represented by the WGA and SAG-AFTRA. We're checking in with meteorologist Belen De Leon, who's tracking a warm-up.
Hi, everyone. Here's what I'm tracking in your forecast. Temperatures are getting warmer inland. We're hitting the 90s now. The rest of the week, we're going to have the shallow marine layer at the coast gradually clearing to sunshine. Now, by the end of the week, we have the return of that monsoon moisture and a possible chance for storms, especially in the mountains. Then it gets hot over the weekend and through early next week. So look at the trend. Moreno Valley has temperatures that stay pretty consistent through the end of the week. Highs are going to be in the low 90s. Then over the weekend, we start to heat up. Saturday, 94, Sunday, 97. And by early next week, the temperatures are going to be in the triple digits. So if your AC hasn't been working, it's time to check on it, because we're going to need it next week as Mother Nature brings back that summer sizzle.
A young woman who was shot, then kidnapped in Whittier over the weekend has been found dead. Police say 19-year-old Andrea Vasquez was discovered in a vegetation field in Moreno Valley. Earlier Sunday morning, Andrea was sitting in the car with her boyfriend at Whittier Park when someone fired a weapon. Andrea's boyfriend ran to get help, and by the time he came back, Andrea was gone. At this point, detectives say Andrea and her boyfriend were randomly targeted.
It's the saddest day of my life. I lost my daughter.
I would like to ask my daughter if you know him or something, but I'm pretty sure no.
Investigators arrested 20-year-old Gabriel Esparza on charges of kidnapping and murder. The FBI is now helping to identify about 1,000 people who are still unaccounted for after the Maui wildfires. Authorities say they're making sure every part of the island is searched for human remains. Those with missing family members are now being encouraged to provide their DNA to help identify their loved ones. The death toll is at least 115, but that number is expected to rise. Former President Trump says he'll surrender at the courthouse in Atlanta Thursday. This is for the case that accuses him and allies of trying to steal the 2020 election in Georgia. Several co-defendants already surrendered, including former Trump lawyer John Eastman. He was the dean at Chapman University's law school. A group of smash and grab thieves broke into a store in Beverly Hills, getting away with some high-end but perhaps unexpected merchandise. 3 crooks were caught on camera smashing the glass door at the Wig Ferry on La Cienega Boulevard. Their targets, tens of thousands of dollars worth of wigs meant for women and children experiencing hair loss, many of whom are going through cancer treatments. The process is personal. The wigs are designed to give the client something special at a time when so much is being taken away.
We took so much time, 2 to 3 weeks, to create these pieces, and within seconds, it was just taken away. It's so heartbreaking. The phone calls that we have to make, starting the whole process all over again, creating the wigs all over again.
Beverly Hills police tell us they believe the thieves are all women. For Mona, the wigs cannot be easily replaced. Her clients are in treatment and have already lost their hair, and now they'll have to wait several more weeks to feel like themselves again. If you've seen a big jump in your car insurance rates, you're not alone. The I-Team has heard from several drivers who say they've received huge increases. So the I-Team looked into why your rates are going up and what the state's insurance commissioner has to say about it. Here's NBC4's Carolyn Johnson.
Angela Gold in Los Angeles says she has an impeccable driving record, no accidents, no tickets, yet her car insurance premium just went up nearly 30%.
You understand if you had an accident or if you got a ticket or something, you expect that your rates are going to go up. You don't expect it when you haven't done anything wrong.
Angela says she called around but couldn't find a better rate, so she sucked it up and paid the new premium, which cost her an additional $600.
I know a lot of people that, they're getting by, but they just can't absorb that kind of an increase in insurance.
Inflation has taken a bite out of everyone's pocketbook.
Bob Passmore is with an insurance industry trade group. He says the cost of repairing cars is up 20%, and the higher than normal used car prices have driven up replacement values.
When the cost of everything that auto insurance pays for is going up, then there's only one result that can happen, is that auto insurance premiums are going to go up too.
He tells the I-Team every car insurer in California is losing money, so they need to raise rates. But the consumer advocates at Consumer Watchdog don't buy that.
We have a hard time believing that can explain these double-digit rate increases, 20 to 40%. The insurance companies have a profit motive constantly to raise rates, to limit the amount of claims they pay, and to seek higher rates before the insurance commissioner.
In fact, California's insurance commissioner, Ricardo Lara, recently approved $1 billion in rate increases, and Consumer Watchdog says another $2 billion are pending.
I think the insurance companies are taking advantage and trying to put pressure on the insurance commissioner to approve rates that are unjustified.
The Department of Insurance declined the I-Team's request for an interview, but they told us the car insurance industry's loss ratio is the highest it's been in 30 years, 81%. That means for every dollar they collect in premiums, they pay 81 cents in claims and expenses. The Department of Insurance says a good loss ratio is 70% or less, so the companies are making less money. They also say by state law, all rate increases must be justified, and they thoroughly review applications to ensure drivers only pay what's required. But that explanation doesn't change things for Angela and other drivers like her.
I don't really know what the solution is going to be, but somebody's going to have to step in and do something.
The Department of Insurance still encourages you to shop around if your premium goes up. Other tips that may help you save money: raise your deductible, bundle your home and car insurance, and maintain a good credit history. Many insurers use credit histories to price policies. 7 people, including the late Vin Scully, have been inducted into the California Hall of Fame. Actress Carrie Fisher, singer Etta James, and LGBTQ activist Jose Julio Sarria are also a part of the 16th class of inductees. Governor Newsom and first partner Jennifer Siebel Newsom recognized honorees in a virtual ceremony Tuesday night.
We are so grateful to the loved ones of these remarkable individuals for helping us enshrine the life stories of the phenomenal 16th class of the California Hall of Fame.
Yeah, these honorees continue to inspire us long after their passing, and their impact will be felt for generations.
So to help keep their legacy alive, their stories will live on in the California Hall of Fame.
The California Hall of Fame honors history-making Californians who changed the state, the nation, and the world. Ready or not, here she comes. Remember that jam? Lauryn Hill is returning to the stage for an anniversary tour. The hip-hop and R&B icon will reunite with the Fugees and perform in 17 U.S. cities in celebration of the 25th anniversary of her solo album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Whew, that was a good album. She'll make a stop at the Kia Forum in Inglewood on November 5th. Tickets go on sale Friday. I'm sure I'll see you there. Stories like this never get old. An Army dad had an emotional reunion with his 7-year-old son.
That's Eli's dad.
Hey, that's not a tiger, it's Dad. The man in the tiger costume is Army Sergeant Perry Chronister. He surprised his son Eli on his first day of school in Ohio last week. As soon as the Army dad revealed himself, the father and the son just held onto each other tightly for quite a while, and that's because they hadn't seen each other for a year.
One of the teachers had like a great idea. They said, how about you put on the mascot costume, and then we could just have you come in and like just wave at the kids a little bit, and we did the big reveal.
Well, now that the two are reunited, they're taking a family trip to make up for lost time. What a pleasant surprise. It's so sweet. I'm not crying, you're crying. Okay, I'm crying a little bit. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays from 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with the traffic reports throughout the morning. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.